Okay, so this is the overhead tripod stand that I unboxed I think 2 weeks ago, and I've been using it ever since. So in this video I'm going to be doing like a review and how to use it. First I'm going to show you guys how to set it up, and then I'm going to be showing you, well, how I've been using it so far. And if you saw the unboxing I made for this microphone, I used this overhead tripod stand to record that video. So far so good. And yeah, it is something that I would recommend. If you don't want to watch my review of it, then just know that it is something I can recommend. Just don't use it with heavy objects. So for me, I use my phones to make videos. I haven't tested this with a camera yet, and I'm not going to advise getting this one if you want to use it with a camera. I would recommend you watch or you get recommendations from people that use cameras to make videos, like actual cameras, not phones. And you can go ahead and ask them the kind of stand they use, and if they make content like that, then they'll tell you or they'll show you. Okay, so now I'm going to do the setup. And first of all, so this did not come in the box. When I was doing the unboxing, I'm sure those of you that watched it did not see this one. So this one is from my tripod stand. I have two. So when I saw that this is the one that came with this overhead tripod, I didn't like it because it is not very easy to put your phone here, since this one, anyway, from my use of this one, I feel like it is better compared to this one, because this one you have to really push before you can put your phone. But with this one, you just place your phone and you just screw it in. So I will not be using this one. I would recommend you get this one instead. But if you can't get this one, then just use this one that comes with the package. But for me, I will not, so I'm just going to keep it over here. Alright, so once you get the overhead tripod, the first thing you want to do, well, you can start from anywhere, but if you want to follow my steps, first thing I normally do is connect these two. So you just have to screw it in. For you to properly screw these two together, you have to make sure this place is tight. If it's not tight, then if you're trying to screw, this guy is just going to keep turning, and that's not what you want. So you have to make sure this one is tight, and then you can screw it in, because at some point it's going to get very hard to screw. Okay, so after doing that, you can drop it if you want. The next thing I would recommend is this one. This is the one you attach to your table. For me, it was completely down, so this way. So around this way. So first, just try to increase or reduce the gap between here and here. If your table is very thick, then make sure you give it enough space. But if it's not, for me it is not very thick, so I'm going to tighten this a bit. Okay, so I think around here is okay. And then you're going to decide where you want it to be. And for me, it's going to be way down here. This is not normally where I put it. This is the table that I'm using. I normally put it by the side over here, but for this video I'll put it down here so that it can be visible enough for everybody to see. So you want to put it this way. This cap will be under the table, so the black part is going to be on top. So when you put it this way, normally you want to put it in the middle, and then you just screw it this way. Hopefully you can see this clear enough. Okay. Alright, so after you're done with that part, you can see it over here. There's a small hole here, which I'll be showing you how to use soon. Okay, so after you're done with it, then this is the next one. So this is the part that you attach to the hole. I'll be doing that soon. All you want to do now is just open it a bit so that you can focus on here. And then you attach this one to this part. Now, there's a small screw here, so you can bring it out a bit. For me, I like bringing it out a bit. If you like, you can tie it all the way in, but for me, just a bit like this is okay. And then I'll attach this one to it. So as I'm turning it, as I'm spinning it, you can see this one is also going back. So the reason why you can bring this part, like this second part, I don't know if you can see it, this second part out a bit is, you can see now there's a tiny space between the two of them. So you can use this one to hold this one to make it stay tighter, something like that. So now this one is completely tight, but you can also spin it to make it even tighter again. Anyways, if you decide to get this thing for yourself and use it, you understand what I mean by doing this. So that is basically everything you need to do. You have done the most important thing. So now all I have to do is just put this guy into the hole. Okay, I forgot. There's a screw here. You have to release it a bit so that this guy can enter into the hole freely. So, okay. Now it is in the hole, so I'll just screw this back in so that it can be a bit stable. Now, no matter how much you tie this part, from my experience, it doesn't stop this one from spinning. So you can see it is still spinning. Normally you will not be moving this around too much unless you are using it as a microphone stand, but for me I use it as a phone stand or as a phone holder. It is starting to rain, so if my voice sounds weird, please just bear with me. Okay, it is raining. I really hope I'll be able to speak up so you guys can hear. But I had to put the stand in the position that I normally use it in. And yeah, so the only problem that I have with this stand so far is that it is hard for me to actually bend it. So let's say if you want to bring it up now, this is the part that you can easily bend. You just need to lose this a bit. Okay, let me bring it up a bit. Just lose it a bit and then you can just bring it up. I don't know if the camera can see it right now. And then you can tie it. Oh, I'm doing it the opposite way. Okay, so now it is tight. But even after tying it, I've noticed that you can still bend it. But it's going to be somewhat harder. But this doesn't mean that if you have a phone attached to the holder here, it's going to bend. It doesn't bend from my use so far. Okay, so I'm going to lose it and then just bring it down a bit. Tight. And like I said, this part to me, there's no issue with bending it, but this is the part that I have the issue when I want to bend. So let's say I want to bring this part forward. I can just do it this way. Yeah, it works right now, but that's because I've practiced a lot. But when I started using it, this part was a bit hard for me to bend. But yeah, this is basically how it works. So, and this one doesn't have like a screw you can adjust. You just need to do it the way you see it. I think the bending is being controlled by these springs over here. So let me attach a phone to it. Let me bring it up a bit. I'm not sure if it's still in frame. But yeah, let me attach a phone to it. So before you attach the phone, make sure this is set to the way you want. You can lose this part and then you arrange it to how you want. Let's say I want it to face downwards this way. So you can see I've already freed this part, so I can just tie it. And then I'll adjust here. I'll lose this. And then if I want to, I can adjust it this way. If I want the phone to face this way, you can see now I've changed it. So after deciding how you want the phone to be, you just tie this, you just make this part tight. Let's say this is the phone I want to use. I'll just slide it in and then I'll tie it using this part. And that's all. You see it is not bending. You can set it, let's bring it forward a bit. It doesn't bend, it doesn't fall off. So you just leave it this way and you do whatever you want to do. If it's too close to you, like if it's not high enough, you just push this one up and maybe push it forward a bit. And see, now there's more space. I'm not really sure if it's showing in the camera, but yeah, this is basically how it works. So, like I said, it is good for holding phones. Do not use this for heavy stuff like cameras. I don't know how heavy cameras are because I've never used a camera. But maybe if I do in the future, then I'll test it. But yeah, so far so good. It's very stable. The only issue you may have is if your table shakes. Mine shakes a bit, so you can see the phone is vibrating a bit. But as long as I'm not too hard on the table, then it's not going to reflect when I'm recording videos. I'm going to leave a link to this overhead stand in the description. If you guys want to get yours, then you can do that. I got mine from AliExpress. It took like 3 weeks before it got to me. So yeah, just expect it around that time frame. Alright, ask me any questions you may have regarding this. And yeah, I'll be seeing you in the next video. Take care and bye-bye.